Hi, I'm Julia Laughlin from the Oklahoma County Extension Office, and it's late summer, early fall, so it's time to talk about dividing perennials. Some of your perennials that you've had in the landscape for a while may be getting too crowded, and you can divide a lot of perennials in the fall. Of course, most of them can also be divided in the spring, but one of the main ones that likes to be divided in late summer and fall, or at least until September, is the iris. So almost everybody has iris. It's a real common garden plant to have. And it actually grows a tuber. Well, it's a rhizome. It's called a rhizome. It's this fleshy material that grows underneath the ground and spreads. And so if you have an iris bed that you've had for a long time, there's a real good chance that it's quit blooming. If it gets too crowded, an iris bed will stop blooming. So if you notice that you got less irises this spring, this right now would be a great time to divide that iris bed. In order to divide your irises, all you have to do is pull them up with the leaves and with the rhizome, so the fleshy part and the leaves. You can do it with a shovel. You can actually do it with a garden fork if you're careful and you don't fork through the bulbs, but be kind of careful. If it's rained and it's been wet, sometimes you can just pull them up and they're ready to go. Once you get this portion, it's ready to move to another part of your garden and be planted and start another iris bed. Or you could share it with a friend. So if you wanted to take this to a friend or a neighbor, and you can even write on the leaves with a Sharpie, so you won't get them, if you have more than one color, you won't get them mixed up. Write that name on there and share it with a friend. So what a great way to pass plants along. So when you plant the irises, they don't want to be planted very deep and they don't want to be mulched. That's a couple of things to remember. So you're just going to plant them about the same level that they were growing in the ground. So that's just with the rhizome underneath, barely underneath the ground. And then don't mulch irises. It's just a rule of thumb. We don't mulch them because it can cause them to rot. So that's a great thing to do right now. Another great perennial to divide right now is your hostas. Hostas like to be divided in the fall. You can also divide them in the spring. But to divide a hosta, you simply dig up the clump and divide the clump in 2 or 3, depending on how big the clump is. And then each one of these new clumps will make a new hosta plant that you can put right back in the garden or share with a friend. And you can start multiple hostas from your hosta plants if you have a big size clump. So anyway, it's a great time to do this with perennials. It's a great time to share your irises or thin out your bed so they'll start flowering again. And maybe you just want to make some more hostas. So have fun with your perennials and happy gardening.